So I'm sick, right? But I have like 1,000,001 things I need to get done today. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm just going to start the day off really slow, pace myself. I'll get in a few chapters of the book I'm reading and just, relax. And so I opened the book, and there's nothing wrong with the book I'm reading. It's a great book. It's a mystery. Love a good mystery. And I'm finding myself getting so frustrated with myself because that I'm in this like scholarly desire to become a better writer. So I'm overthinking and overanalyzing every single sentence, every single paragraph. And I'm like, challenging myself. If I was writing this, how would I write that? How would I describe that? And I'm not immersing myself into the story, and I'm getting so frustrated. I'm like, I should just go work. And then I look over to my bookshelf and I see this book that I picked up at a library sale a long time ago. And this book keeps popping up on my For You page as a rec, like often. So I was like, okay, you know what, maybe we'll just try another story. So I pick up the book, I start reading it. The first page, I'm literally rereading sentences because they're just so disturbingly beautiful. By the end of the first chapter, I'm holding the book to my chest, just staring at the wall, just absorbing the beauty and the prose of what has been written. By chapter 7, I'm on the library webpage putting literally every title they have by this author on hold. And now I know for certain I am not getting any work done today because I will be finishing this novel. Don't believe me? I may have a problem.
Is it an addiction?
Is it an addiction? No, I don't think I think it's an addiction. I think it does put me, like, it makes me happy, but no, it's not an addiction.
Listen to this. I hate the sun, too preoccupied with itself to notice the infinite hours we spend in its presence. The sun is an arrogant thing, always leaving the world behind when it tires of us. The moon is loyal in comparison. It never leaves. It's always there, watching, steadfast, knowing us in our light and dark moments, changing forever just as we do. Every day is a different version of itself, sometimes weak and wan, sometimes strong and full of light. The moon understands what it means to be human. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. What I would write would be something along the line of, I'm a shade hunter. I would prefer to be a vampire, seeking the soulless quiet and stillness of the dark. But here I am, under the sun's burning something. Don't even have a word for that. Under the sun's burning gaze, my eyes threatening to melt and sputter, leaving an oozing mess from their sockets. And as bad as that is, the harder I try, the harder I would try to make it better, to make it sound beautiful. What would end up on the page is sun bad, moon want. You're fucking with me, right? Like you were literally toying with my mind. You said it in the beginning. It's going to be erratic. And it is. When my eyes glide across the page, it feels erratic. And it would be so frustrating if it wasn't so masterfully done, so intentional, so carefully placed. And then you're just gonna like blatantly say it, just right out loud, just in the middle of the book. And if it wasn't for the amazing and beautiful prose that suck you in, and the infinite patience in the world building and the character development, it would be crap. But because the story is so masterfully told, it creates the most amazing experience. and it's fresh and it's new. And I'm so grateful that I am reading a physical copy of this and not listening to an audio or watching like a film adaptation, because there's no other way to create that experience with these tiny little nuances and these tiny little not so errors on the page. It's so erratic, it's got me searching for words. I can't even. Okay, so I could not finish the novel in one day. My eyes were on fire, my head was pounding, and my entire body was screaming, go to sleep. So I'm finishing it today. Okay, so I'm a liar. It took 3 days to finish the novel. You know, that cold did it for me, man. My eyes were burning, my head was pounding, my body screaming at me to go to sleep. I just finished it though, so let's talk. So I feel like the author was trolling me, like really just messing with my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm reading, and like I said before, there was such a delicate care given into the actual writing, and I'm so glad that I read the physical copy and didn't listen to an audio, because it's the way your eyes glide over the page, right? I mentioned that. And there's a part where I'm noticing, like, oh, the writing is becoming more, proper. And the FMC literally goes, my life is changing, or something along that lines, and recognizes the change and kind of like reiterates that. So I don't think that was lost on me. And I love that. I loved that so much. And while, I could sit here and say dystopian YA is not my favorite trope, that would probably be a lie. I read everything. I love everything. I love the art of storytelling. I'm addicted to fiction. I also read a lot of nonfiction. That's where my Gigi Says What Now series comes from, going down rabbit holes and reading everything I can on any particular subject and having no place to put it, so I put it in a series. My love for storytelling, is also a big part of my content and a huge part of my life. It's my passion. It's my joy. And while this story was published in 2011, a time where YA dystopia was really popping off and heavily saturated in the market, but this particular story really stands out among the crowd to me because of the care the author put into it, and the talent the author has is just amazing. The prose, the care put into the grammar and the punctuation, and the insurmountable amount of patience within the world building and the character building. I mean, we were well into 200s to the page 280 or something like that before the FMC's eye color is mentioned, and I have so much just respect for that. In my writing, I always kind of want to info dump, and a lot of readers like that. I don't mind it, but to have this kind of patience, I just have so much respect for and care, and yeah, it was beautiful. I'm obsessed, not because of the story. It's a YA dystopia. YA, it fits very much into the genre, kind of meets all of the rules and expectations, but the way it is written is what I love so much about it. And I also I recognize that, but I also recognize that all of the things about this book, and the way it's written that I love, may also be the same things that other readers would not like about a book. Not every book is written for every person, and I respect that. And I'm not the type that's just gonna, get on the internet and bash a book, but sometimes, you know, these 5-star reads just come across and I have no one to share them with. And so I wanted to share this with you. So if you like this video, if you like this kind of reactionary video and this kind of content, let me know down below and I can make Fantasy Fiction Friday more going into reactions of my 5-star reads that I come across. I would love to do that, at least until my novels are finished and we can go back to reading and annotating my own work. I am lost for words. Great author, right? Okay, so if you've been here for a while, you've already heard this part, but if you're new here, welcome in. Thank you for joining me for Fantasy Fiction Friday. It's a series where I generally read my own work and annotate my own work, but I've just started to review 5-star reads, and if you like that, let me know down below. Like I said, as far as my content, I love the art of storytelling. I love to read. I read everything I can get my hands on. You know, storytelling is a huge part of my personality and my world and my passion and my joy. It's just like these silly little synthetic wigs I wear and the excessive makeup I put on. I'm not wearing any today, this is a filter, but you know, that all kind of goes into who I am and my love, and it kind of, you know, just gives me that sprinkling of serotonin that we all need sometimes, because it takes me back to that time when I was heavily involved in the theater, and you know, I love to dress up and just put on little skits, and that's where my short form content comes from, as cheesy as my short form content is. And you know, like I said, my Gigi Says What Now comes out of these deep rabbit holes of nonfiction that I go down. I just want to share that and also kind of tie that into my storytelling. As far as being an author right now, I have taken down everything except for one book. It's called Spicy Page. It is a spicy, open door, LGBTQIA romance about a polyamorous trio that find love while navigating the world of internet fame. It's a short story. It's only 93 pages. Very easy to read, very cozy, very, very, very smutty. It's smut. It meets the criteria. It's probably 75% spice. That's the only book I have up and available and published right now. I did take down The Nature of Forces because it does go with the book that I'm currently writing and editing right now. I do a lot of my edits on live. If you want to join and check that out, I appreciate it. If you just want to chat, if you just want to listen, if you have any constructive feedback, that's a great place to give it. I love it. So I hope you'll join me over on the Clock app for those lives. I did take down, like I said, The Nature of Forces because it is a sister compilation to Ladies of the Lily that I'm editing now, and I do plan to re-release them hopefully in 2025. I just don't know quite when yet. I did take down all of my videos as well as the novel The House on G Street because it needs a lot of work, and right now I have 3 projects going on, so that's like on the back burner. But yeah, so that's where my content is moving forward. Let me know if you wanted me to do more reactionary videos and book reviews. I would love to do that for you, and it'd be a way to move Fantasy Fiction Friday. Like I said, 5-star reads aren't always that easy to come by. Like, they don't always just jump in your lap like this one did. But when they do, I will post a Fantasy Fiction Friday on those Fridays for you. I just can't promise it'll be every Friday. Anyway, if any of that sounds good to you, I have had way too much coffee and way too much sleep. Obviously, I'm feeling better. But anyway, if any of that sounds good to you, maybe you'll consider hitting that subscribe button. I truly appreciate you being here. Remember, you are valid, you are worthy, and you are loved. Bye!